Hello and welcome to Database Design Chat. Episode 2, we're going to talk a little bit about why you actually build databases. And this is something I find, I think a lot of developers don't kind of understand. Why am I building this database? What are all the purposes? Because it's more than just one thing. Okay. It's more than just the obvious reasons. So about me. I'm Lewis Davidson. I'm data architect. You want to know more? Linktree/DRSQL. Okay. All right. So you have a database. You built this thing. Well, number one, simply enough, we want to store some data. Simple, right? That's ideal. Anybody can build a database to store data. I actually have a trash can right here that stores kind of a lot of data at times. You put some data in, you throw it out to the trash can, that data goes places. If I never use the data, why am I storing it? So you obviously know there's more to this than just storing data. So we know most of the time the goal is we just want to store some data and then we want to execute some business. And that kind of is the whole mindset of the person who's building the database. I need to throw this data in, and then I need to be able to ship a product. And that's pretty much it. Once that product shipment's over, that's the end of their focus. I mean, that may be a little simplistic because they probably know that there are other steps to the process. So let's give them at least that, they know they need to invoice for the product. But once that life cycle's over, that's kind of the end of their thinking. So if you get it kind of wrong, like, a person orders a product, you get their money, but the database crashes or something, you mess up. The data never gets stored. And you take their money, you put it in the accounting system, and you ship them the product, and you never actually put that in the database. Well, that's not going to be ideal, even though the business was executed, and that's completely fine, right? We got our money, we got paid, everything's good. But what happens later is you want to do things like follow-on actions. Okay, a couple of months from now, because I've made an order of something for my new iPhone. Got it on my mind. It's coming Friday. Hopefully, maybe next week. We'll see. But because I've ordered that, a couple of months from now, they may want to say, do you want to check out the new thing? Or how does the new iPhone doing for you? And here's some accessories for that iPhone. Right? So they may have specific follow-on actions. If I never record in the database that follow-on action occurred, well, then I've lost that follow-on action. Right? I'm never going to be able to do that. I'm never going to be able to audit that it occurred, any of those kinds of things that occur. All right, I'm never going to be able to report the business. There's the CEO is sitting up there going, well, how much sales have we done this year? We've done about 1,000 sales, and maybe that's amazing for this company. But actually, because of the database crashes, because of the problems with the system, they've really done 2,000. Or maybe because of the product system, it's so hard to use, they never record that they've been giving money back, so they've actually only done 800. The database needs to be the official record of what's occurred. So, and I'm talking about not only programmers here, but users of the system, right? We build this database so we can execute business. We can do follow-on actions that aren't necessarily related directly to that original business. And then we need to be able to report it and tell people exactly what's occurred and not have go, I think it's about this because we've changed some things, we've done some stuff. No. Then there comes some other unpleasantness like paying taxes. The tax man wants to cut. You're going to be audited perhaps, things like that. So, make sure you understand that not only is that a part now, but the life cycle of this data goes on. You need to analyze history. Why did things work 2 years ago? We were really selling a lot of widgets. Today, we can't sell them at all. Is it because of some things we did? Is it maybe the market? So I need to analyze the history of our sales to see if we can fix how things are working, fix future issues even. I need to know that there's there's problems with our product, maybe from like maybe we did a chemical project once, and they would check, they would test, they would store tests to watch to see if the quality was getting worse, the quality was getting better. The more you can do that, and back then, they were just doing it by hand, random samples. Nowadays, you can do this by, Internet of Things and just take a sample of 100 samples of the same batch. You can do lots and lots of things. We can store lots and lots of data. But when the customer starts sending back products and you see they all come from a certain batch or they come from a certain type of product you've made, then start going, oh, wait, there's a lot of returns from this. Either people didn't like the new color scheme, but then it's across all the color schemes. Yeah, maybe it's just a bad product. We need to go take care of that. Finally, well, not really finally, but for the arrows I'm going to put on this graph, marketing. Okay, when you start sending out letters to people and say, did you like this? Would you like to buy more? Or just cold calling them, any data you've got on them as a customer is the better, right? When they go to your website, I mean, a cold call, we all know that when we're sitting here and someone calls and, we have to answer the phone and they're asking me about my car warranty. I thought it was me. My car warranty actually did wear out when the call started. And maybe it's not just me. Maybe everybody gets this after their car warranty runs out. I don't know how they do that. But cold call, meaning more like calls from people I've worked with. When you go to the website, it pops up a thing. Hey, it's good to see you back. Did you like to buy some more thingies? All of that's data. And if you go back to this even more, most of these steps actually make more data, right? So it's just this ever flowing system where this new data meshes with the stored data, which meshes with the actions, which causes more actions, which causes more. And it all starts with actually understanding this and realizing that getting it right the first time and making sure that the data flows through the system correctly happens. All right, so to conclude, correctness, still the most important thing. We want to get it right, and we want to not only just get it right, but record it correctly. Make sure it shows up. If you can't get the data back out, it's not worth storing. Again, and understand the problem. That the problem on the right side there are bigger than you're going to probably start out in your requirements in your design, because not everybody thinks that much. And if you do think that much, you may be told to stop thinking that much because you're thinking too much. And it's annoying, but it's true. So just keep in mind that data has a life cycle, and that life cycle is not eternal, but it is years and years, certainly farther than when you ship the widget to the person. All right, see you next time. Thank you.